is here.
Hi. Are they good?
Chairman is there.
Hey, happening.
I'm sure to make it. Veterinary appointment today. The vet says I'm okay.
That's always good.
I come here because I don't want to print all of this.
No problem. I have it prepared.
Thank you. Now there's a lot of reading that, you know,
Okay, sir, we're live, and then I'll just press record when you're ready.
Are we ready?
Carl is not here.
I think everybody. I think we have enough. Yep.
Monica. Anish.
Audrey at 12 o'clock, go ahead and press record. Afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us.
I must mess up on myself. What's up?
I think we are live. Let me just one second. Just get that screen off. Hey, how today, everybody? It's 12 o'clock, July 8th, 2022. Call this meeting to order here at GHURA's main office, first floor. Okay, let's do roll call. Vice Chair Guzman.
Here.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Sasaki.
Present.
Thank you very much. Commissioner Delia.
Here.
I see you. Thank you. Commissioner Nate. I think he's on his way. Commissioner Rice.
Here.
Much, and Commissioner Corpus. I see.
Present.
Thank you
Got
very
me.
much. He's online. All right, perfect. And we have our legal counsel, Tony. Thank you for joining us.
Present, thank you.
Okay, moving on to, we have a quorum. Moving on to item number 2, board meeting public announcements. As provided in your packet, dated June 30 and July 6. I believe all is in order. If I hear no objections, we'll move on.
No objections.
Thank you very much. And before we move on, I just want to note for the record that we did cancel June 24th, the meeting of June 24th, due to the lack of quorum. All right. And then let's move on to the approval of the previous board minutes of June 6th to 2022, which is provided to you in your packets.
This is for Rose.
You've read through it and there are no corrections or no changes. When you're ready, may I get a motion?
I just noticed one, it's on page 8. I think Dr. Rivera's name is spelled wrong.
Oh, okay.
It says Dr. River, so that's the change that I see.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I didn't even catch that.
New name.
Right? There's a new chair. Okay. Right. Any corrections?
I don't see any other, I don't have any other changes.
Okay, thank you. If there are no other changes, may I get a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the minutes of the June 6, 2022 meeting.
Okay, thank you. I got a motion from Commissioner Ishizaki, subject to any changes.
I will second that motion.
Yes, subject to any changes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh,
Yeah, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay, Commissioner Nate joined us. Thank you very much. He seconded the motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call for a vote. All in favor, please say aye or raise your hand so I can see you. All right. Okay, any opposed? Seeing, hearing none, the motion to approve the minutes of June 6th passes. Thank you very much. Before we get into new business, I just kind of want to have a moment of silence. If you haven't heard yet, we lost our controller, the passing of Lucille Leon Guerrero. On behalf of the board and all of us here at the office and the GHURA family, would like to extend our deepest condolences to his husband, Chris, and the family. Lucille was our controller here. She dedicated a lot of her life and her time to service of GHURA and the people, and in her memory, may we have a moment of silence. Thank you very much. GHURA is no stranger to challenges, but we have the former director Ray always said, we have a great team. And so, like I said, our condolences and our hearts go out to all of the staff and executive director. Please, if there's anything that we can do, please let us know. And thank you for supporting the rest of the family here at GHURA. Moving on to new business. Resolution number FY 2022-TA-001. Commissioner Guzman, I'm sorry. Do you have anything?
Yeah, I just wanted to add, Mr. Chairman, and to Director Napoli, that, I'm sure that the staff must be, and overwhelmed is not a good word, but perhaps maybe we can bring a priest in or something and just bless the building, and, just for some kind of feeling of comfort, or bring a Chamorro chanter in or something like that. I don't know if that's something that could be done, but it's just a suggestion.
Sure. All right, thank you, Commissioner Guzman. And, to add to that, right, maybe just some sort of opportunity, right, for the staff. I know that we've had grief counseling before, right?
Right.
But I think the point is, right, that if there's something that can happen, right, let's be mindful. And if we can offer any, emotional and health support to our staff, please afford them the courtesies, right?
Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate it. And I apologize. I'm trying to look at screens and paper. So if I inadvertently miss you, please just interrupt me. You have my full permission to let me know that you're trying to get on the floor. All right, I appreciate it. Thank you. Director Napoli.
Thank you for that. And I just wanted to inform you that our HR, Ms. Kim, is always on top of making sure that we provide the grief counseling and comfort that our employees need. So she did arrange to have Guam Behavioral staff come in and do a grief counseling session with the employees that were needing to have that. So that was already arranged, and we can look into considering having Polly come and do another blessing in GHURA. I know they've done it before, but it doesn't hurt to get as many blessings as we can. But thank you for that. Okay, so resolution number FY 2022-TA-001. It's the resolution authorizing off-island travel for the Ross Service Coordinator to attend the 2022 National Service Coordinator Conference on August 14th to 17th, 2022 in Anaheim, California. Whereas the authority's travel policy requires advanced travel authorization by the Board of Commissioners for off-island travel on the authority's business, and whereas the Board of Commissioners deemed appropriate for the Ross Service Coordinator's attendance to the 2022 National Service Coordinator Conference in Anaheim, California from August 14th to 17th, 2022. And whereas the training is to strengthen and improve the Ross Service Coordinator's skills and knowledge necessary to promote independent living among Ross participants. And whereas the subject training request is an eligible expenditure under FY 2021 Ross NOFA, and according to LOCS, is sufficient funding available under the training budget line item. And be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners authorizes the use of the Ross Service Coordinator Program grant funds to finance the costs associated with travel and training, including registration fee, continuing education units, airfare, lodging, per diem, and ground transportation for an estimated total of $4,592.31 as indicated below. So for the registration fee, it was $865. The CEU credits are $35. Lodging estimate is $1,508.76. Airfare estimate is $1,672.55. Grounds transportation is $100. And meals and incidental expenses is $411 for a total of $4,592.31. And I do want to say that if you haven't met our Ross coordinator, she is on the Zoom a meeting with us, Alina Butler. And I just want to say that, when you see her Ross presentation, I believe that you'll be impressed with. In the short period of time that she's been with us, she's done an excellent job with, making sure that she's performing her duties and responsibilities as a ROS coordinator to really provide those services that are needed to our elderly population at our elderly sites. Alina is there, and she recently graduated with her master's degree in social work. So congratulations to her are also in order.
Thank you very much. Since Alina's online, commissioners, do you have any questions for her? I'm sure now that she graduated and has her master's, she wants a lot of questions.
And she does have a presentation. You can also ask her questions after she does her presentation at this meeting.
I see that on item number 5. Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Dr. Ishika, ma'am.
I have a question, and Director Napoli. I recall at some point in the past that we approved a resolution for travel that did not require board approval. Do you recall that? I think this was like a couple of years ago.
No, actually, I don't recall that. But I think what's required in her case is she does have to get approval from HUD, the program that oversees her expenses. So it's an approved expenditure under her program because her budget has to include whatever she projects for the fiscal year, the program year. So it is an approved on her budget.
Okay, thank you. But I do recall, I don't know, Commissioner Shizaki, if you recall that we approved a resolution for travel. This was under Ray's time. I would say it was like a year ago, maybe a year and a half ago. But yeah, maybe we can just pull that out. I was looking through my previous board packets, but I guess I didn't go back far enough.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't remember.
Okay.
We'll look it up, right, and check on that.
But since it's already approved and it's in the budget, and I'm sure Alina will do a wonderful job, and I can't wait to see her presentation. Alina, I will move to approve resolution number FY 2022-TA-001 authorizing off-island travel for the ROS Service Coordinator to attend the 2022 National Service Coordinator Conference in Anaheim, California on August 14 to 17, 2022.
Okay, thank you very much. Do I hear a second?
Are we still gonna get the presentation?
That's it, item number 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So is that a yes? You need a second?
I second that motion,
Okay, thank you, Commissioner.
subject to a presentation.
Okay.
Okay,
Any further-
that's a UOG instructor for the master's awardee. You'll get it, but it won't be an easy fight. Thank you.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any further discussion on the issue? Hearing none, may I call for a vote? All in favor, please say aye or indicate online as I can see you.
Aye.
Mr. Charters, okay, thank you very much. Okay. Any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, right? Resolution number FY 22-TA-001 passes unanimously. Thank you, commissioners. Moving on to item number 2, intent to award renovation of 13 public housing units, IFB GHURA-05-26-2022 for AMPS 2, 3, and 4.
Thank you, Chairman. So the bid opening for the subject project was held on June 24th, 2022 at 2 p.m. There were a total of 5 contractors that purchased a set of bid specifications, of which 4 submitted a bid. They are listed below, and the results of the bids submitted are also listed. They were opened and read out loud. So contractor number 1, Genesis Tech Corp. They had a bid bond of the 15%. They didn't bid for base bid number 1, base bid number 2, but they did bid for base bid number 3 in the amount of $298,500. The second contractor was Surface Solutions. They had a 15% bid bond. They bid for base bid number 1 in the amount of $164,881.88. And they also bid for base bid number 2 in the amount of $21,225.86. They did not bid for base bid number 3. The third contractor was JRJ Construction, Inc. They did not have a bid bond. They bid for base bid number 1 in the amount of $99,318. They did not bid for base bid number 2 or base bid number 3. The fourth contractor was OH Construction with a 15% bid bond. They bid for base bid number 1 in the amount of $161,000, for base bid number 2 in the amount of $17,000, and for base bid number 3 in the amount of $264,000. And you can see also the government estimates were shown there. For base bid number 1, the government estimate was $183,330 for base bid number 1. For base bid number 2, the government estimate was $15,000. And for base bid number 3, the government estimate was $255,332.50. Base bid number 1 is to renovate a total of 4 units. There are 3 in the Total Gardens site, which is AMP4, and 1 in Dededo, which is also AMP4. Base bid number 2 is to renovate 2 units in Jonia, which is AMP2. Base bid number 3 is to renovate 7 units, 4 in Agate and 3 in Umatic, which are all under AMP3. Modernization of these units include electrical upgrade, replacement of termite-infested kitchen cabinets and bays, retiling of floors, complete sewer line replacement, interior painting, exterior and interior door replacements, and replacement of existing water lines. A detailed scope of work is included in the bid documents for review. In the review of the bid results, OH Construction provided the lowest responsive and responsible bid for base bid 1, 2, and 3. OH Construction has completed several GHURA projects over the last year with good standing. They also have been cleared by the Department of Labor Compliance, OSHA, and EPLS debarred list. Based on AE's staff review and determination, we are requesting approval to issue the contract to OH Construction for base bid number 1, base bid number 2, and base bid number 3 in the total amount of $442,000. Funding is available under the Capital Fund Program. We also formally note that JRJ Construction did not submit the required bid bond for this invitation for bid.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or discussions on the issue on the floor? Yes, I do have a question.
Ma'am, I have a question on the, I'm sorry.
Commissioner, yes, please go ahead.
I would like to inquire on, it mentions the painting of interior and exterior. Now, would that include the roof, and would that be a reflective paint? And also on the walls, will that be an anti-mold paint or just whatever they can get off the shelf? Do we have any specifics on that?
I think it indicates that it's interior painting. The exterior and interior had to do with door replacements. So it only mentions interior painting on this.
I see it. Yes. Sorry about that. Yes. Thank you.
No problem.
Hi, Director Liz. This is Nate Sanchez.
Hi, Nate.
Hi. In regards to OH construction, to your knowledge, was the issue with their violation in not paying their employees, Department of Labor issue, to your knowledge, was that ever settled?
Yes, it actually was, and that's why we did indicate that that they've been cleared by the Department of Labor for compliance. And I know that question came up before, and yes, they were cleared.
Okay, they were cleared. Okay.
Yes, they were.
Thank you, Director. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? On this issue, Commissioner Corpus, you're mentioning interior paint or with mold, some sort of mold coating. Is that in your experience, is that something that we need to be considering?
Well, in my unit, I readily have to use mold killer on the ceilings and near the door entrances. I'm not sure if they actually have an interior paint that's anti-mold. I need to know that the exterior, though, is on at least the units around here are blackened by it. I know they make an exterior. I'm not sure about the interior, though.
Okay, you're talking about, okay.
Maybe that's a question. I don't know. Mike from the A&E department is also on our Zoom. He might be able to answer that question.
Usually molds, it happens with where the place like high humidification, it's humid, that's why it's but for our units it looks like they're in a good place. That's why we just do the interior painting based on our inspections. So that's what we come up with our scope of work. So all exteriors are still in good condition. So we didn't include the exterior for these 7 units.
Right.
But once we do an inspection in other location that we need some paint repaint, we will include that in our scope of work. But for these 7 units, we didn't see to provide it to repaint, so we did include it, only the interior.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Okay. Any further questions? Hearing none, we may get a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the intent of award for renovation of 13 public housing units, IFB GHURA 05 26 2022 for AMPS 2, 3, and 4 to OH Construction in the amount of $442,000. for
Thank you,
base
Commissioner.
bits 1, 2, I'm sorry, for base bits 1, 2, and 3.
Got it. Thank you, Commissioner Delia. May I get a second? Thank you, Commissioner, for the second. Any further discussion on the issue? No question? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, may I call for the vote. All in favor, say aye and or raise your hand so I can see you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Aye. Any opposed?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
Mr. Chairman Corpus, looking at a 442,000 even, and then we have, oh, I'm sorry, never mind. No objections.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay. So no objections. Hearing and seeing no objections, motion passes unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, resolution number FY 2022-011.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Resolution number FY 2022-011 is the resolution approving the write-off of tenant accounts receivable. Whereas the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is the Guam Public Housing Authority that provides decent homes and suitable living environments for Guam families of low income to afford to pay for safe, sanitary, and decent dwelling accommodations. And whereas the governance and well-being of GHURA is vested in the Board of Commissioners and empowered by 12 Guam Code Annotated Chapter 5, Section 5104. And whereas the Board of Commissioners Resolution number FY 2018-002, resolution adopting the write-off policy for uncollectible accounts for GHURA rental properties. And whereas in the normal course of business, the authority is involved in transactions that result in monies being owed to GHURA for which they are unable to collect. And as necessary, whereas the property site managers submit summaries of debts considered for write-off to prevent overstating of assets which are affecting the authority's financial performance. And whereas currently, GHURA's receivables include outstanding accounts which have remained in GHURA's books for over 90 days as of March 31st, 2022, as indicated below. AMP 1, its write-off amount is $10,298.25. AMP 2's write-off amount is $7,210.98. AMP 3's write-off amount is $11,946.26. And AMP 4's write-off amount is $24,512.96 for a cumulative total of $53,968.45 in write-off amounts. Whereas GHURA, through the property site managers, exert diligent collection efforts in pursuit of outstanding receivables. And although ongoing collection efforts are abandoned on these accounts, GHURA reserves the right and duty to collect should the opportunity arise. And whereas it is in accordance with GHURA's procedure and good business practices to write off accounts receivables after all reasonable collection procedures have been exhausted, and there is not a reasonable expectation that the accounts will be collected. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners approves writing off $53,968.45 of GHURA receivables after all reasonable collection procedures have been exhausted, and there is not a reasonable expectation that the accounts will be collected.
Thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions?
I may have one, Ms. Liz, and that is, do you have a quick count of how many units are in each AMP, number of housing units? I just want to get a feel for what our losses are
Absolutely.
per unit.
Well, we do have 750 units altogether. I can pull out how many are per AMP. So just give me 1 second.
Well,
I don't have it committed to memory.
Okay, I didn't mean to make it a complex research project, but I just
I do
want to
have
know where our losses are per unit.
Okay.
Yeah, well, while you're doing that, just for the sake of clarity, right? How does this compare to previous write-offs? Is this kind of like on point with previous write-offs, or is this a little bit higher? I know we just got out. We're still trying to get out of the pandemic. Just want to get a sense of how that impacted our clients.
If I'm remembering correctly, I believe this seems to be a little bit higher than prior write-offs, and a lot of it does have to do with pandemic circumstances where we have tenants that lost their jobs or they just abandoned their units, etc. And the staff really does its best to try and track them down, to collect from them. And they're unsuccessful. And so what happens though is that's not the end of it. Even if we write it off, what happens is these names and the amounts they owe go to the Department of Revenue and Taxation, and Department of Revenue and Taxation garnishes any tax refunds that are going to these clients. We do get calls where they're like, why did I not receive my tax refund? And we have to show them because you owed GHURA. And that's how we are able to, get reimbursed for some of those uncollected monies.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So I think maybe if we could, if I could ask, maybe we could just put a simple. It doesn't have to be complex, right? But a simple report together just to break it down. And maybe some historical numbers for the last pre-pandemic, right? I think it's just, even for me, right, being new on the board, I'd like to see the trend and see how much, what is this in comparison to what else, right? Because it doesn't seem like a lot, but it, contextually it may be a different story, right? And maybe this could lead us into a disposition where, like for example, maybe there's more there's more help that's needed on AMP4 by way of some of the services we can probably partner with and provide our clients, right? Because that's almost double everything else. So, but yeah, if you could just ask the team to put a simple report together that just kind of contextualizes these numbers for us. How many units per, right, and what is the percentage of that, and how does that historically compare, right, pre-pandemic?
Not a problem.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Also, Director Liz,
Yes.
are write-ups done quarterly, or how often, are they done?
No, they're not actually done quarterly. As a matter of fact, I would say that I'm recalling that sometimes it's like once for the year,
Okay.
Yeah, it just really depends, because the accounts receivables that are uncollected does affect the AMP site score, their overall score. But fortunately, HUD has waived including that score for the 2020 and 2021. So we're fortunate that they take that into consideration, that they're going to have a lot of uncollected accounts receivables as a result of pandemic circumstances.
Okay.
But I will put that report together and I will have it for you at our next board meeting.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Sure.
Commissioners, any other discussion or questions on resolution number FY 2022-011?
I'm just going to add one more thing for Liz. And Liz, I have the cumulative write-off for AMP1, but I don't have it for 2, 3, or 4. So just for information. So when you provide us, maybe make it more complete. Thank you. So I have pages 11 and then 18. So maybe I'm the only one that you got page 12, 13, 14.
10 and 11 as well.
And mine skips to 18, so I'm missing from 12 to 17.
I have 12, 13. I have it.
Oh, okay, so it's
Maybe it's
just
in
me.
the electronic.
It's just me. Okay, don't worry about it.
Okay.
You
you
bought
very
mine. Let's take it.
Okay. Commissioners, any other questions?
Yes, Director Liz, what is the primary reason for some of our tenants, aside from the pandemic, in your experience, since this is new to me, what was the primary or a number of reasons that led to the funds not being collected?
You know, it kind of varies. I know property site managers have expressed to me that we have some tenants who really just choose to be non-compliant, and they will try to get them on a promissory note, et cetera. But even on a promissory note, they just kind of it's like a blatant disregard for, you know, the opportunity they have to get housing subsidies. And so a lot of times those are the ones that either abandon their units, or they're the ones that we have to terminate because we're not able to collect from them, and their you know, arrears just continues to accumulate. So it's really various reasons. There's not really one single one that I would say.
Thank you, Ms. Liz. I'm pretty sure we have an outstanding vetting process before we house these tenants. And I'm sure that there are times you're going to have repeat, quote unquote, repeat offenders come in and try to apply again and give you all the reasons in the world for allowing them to, you know, get a place. So you don't have any, in your experience, you haven't had any issues with properly vetting these individuals naturally, right? So, you know,
No,
yeah.
so once they have a non-compliance record with us, it does remain on our system, so that when they reapply, of course, they can reapply as many times as they wish, but both public housing and Section 8 do a really good job of making sure they do their research to take a look at, okay, do they owe us money? You know, have they been in violation in the past? And there is like a time frame. I think if they've been in non-compliance within 5 years, you know, so there is a very strict vetting process, because if we don't follow it, then it shows up in non-compliance in our audits.
Right.
So yeah, they don't get away with it, trust me.
No, we trust you. We just don't trust them.
No, exactly. That's why they don't get away with it.
They don't get away with it. Thank you, Ms. Liz. Appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Any further questions? Hearing and seeing none, may I get a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I motion to approve resolution number FY 2022-011. Resolution approving the write-off of tenant accounts receivables.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Nate. May I get a second?
I will second that motion.
Thank you, Commissioner Delia. Any further discussion on the matter of question? Okay, hearing and seeing none, may I call for the vote. All in favor, say aye and or indicate. So raise your hand. Thank you. Thank you. Any objections? Okay, hearing and seeing no objections, the motion, the resolution number FY 2022-011 passes unanimously. Thank you very much. On to resolution number FY -012. And this one is pursuant to the authority of the governor under 12 GCA 51-5103 with the nomination of Elizabeth F. Napoli to serve as Executive Director of GHURA. Before I open the floor to the commissioners, Acting Director Liz, would you like to address the board?
Yes, thank you, Chairman Rivera. I am really humbled and highly appreciative of the governor's appointing me to be GHURA's executive director. The support of the Leon Guerrero Tenorio administration in coordination and alignment with GHURA's mission, which is strengthening families and building communities one project at a time, has really been my daily motivation in the leadership position that I've been entrusted with these past 3.5 years. I am cognizant of the fact that I am a public servant, and I believe that how I have executed my duties and responsibilities the past 3.5 years exemplify that I'm really committed, as was my late director, Ray, to making a difference in the lives of the low to moderate income families that we're here to serve. I am honored to have worked in partnership with my late predecessor, Ray Tapasna, who really left us much too soon. Sorry, I might get emotional. He is really dearly missed by all of GHURA for his excellent leadership, his genuine friendship, and the support that he really provided to all of the staff. I will always remember that when he would be complimented about his innovative ideas and his brilliance, he would just shrug it off and often say that he only looks smart because he surrounds himself with smart people. And one of the reasons we worked well together was because we never underestimated the talent and the dedicated employees at GHURA, many of whom have been here at least one decade or more. They, to me and to Ray, they really are the most valuable asset of the agency. And we didn't hesitate to give credit where credit is due, and to treat our staff with dignity, respect, and recognition that they deserve, because of utmost importance to me is really the well-being of the employees. I will continue to be supportive of measures where needed to ensure that they can be most productive in providing the services that are expected of us. And especially, during the challenging times that we've gone through since January, actually December, with the loss of beloved colleagues. It's been a tough time, but they have given unconditional support to myself and to each other for us to really, go through everything as best as we can. And so I won't pretend that I can ever fill Ray's shoes, but I most certainly can continue to pursue the possibilities that he envisioned in various areas to best serve our island community. That really was what he and I were all about, is really making a difference. And the ongoing discussions on the repositioning of our decades-old public housing units, how to better manage and operate our housing community developments programs, and then just the long-term plans for GHURA's operations. Those are all discussions that we will continue to have, just to make sure that we're always improving, so that we can provide the best service to the families and the community, right? I also will continue to work collaboratively and in partnership with other agencies and organizations, be they public or private, or even as well recently the military, right? Towards shared goals to really tackle the housing affordability, housing crisis issue that we have, and make sure that what we do in the present is going to last, for the future, right? So I really thank you for your consideration of my approval of this position. And I promise that I am committed to continue with GHURA's mission, and you know, making sure that all of GHURA is as well committed to the mission. And so thank you for that.
Thank you very much. Commissioners.
Hey. Chairman, I'm sorry, can I jump in real quick?
Absolutely.
So just to clarify with Liz's speech, great job, Liz, by the way. The mechanism is not a gubernatorial appointment. What the governor did was nominate her, but the prerogative for her employment is strictly the province of the board.
Correct. Thank you very much.
Just to clarify, but hey, Liz is doing a great job.
Sure. Thank you very much. Commissioners? Anything from any of the commissioners?
I think we need to have Liz brag about her education and career experiences. Please impress us.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I want you to brag about your educational accomplishments and career accomplishments.
I don't like to brag, but
Yes, please impress us.
oh my goodness. I come from humble beginnings. Well, I did get my bachelor's degree in communication disorders from the University of California at Santa Barbara. And then decades later, I got my master's degree in communication disorders from San Francisco State University. I was employed with the government of Guam from 1991 to the present. I really should be retired, but I am not tired and I love working. So, but prior to my returning to government of Guam in 1991, I lived off island actually for 12 years altogether. And 7 of those years I worked in downtown San Francisco for an Exxon Corporation office automation company. And then when I returned to Guam, I worked another 6 years under Carl Peterson as his customer services manager. So I really did have a lot of administrative and customer service type background, which I feel is, you know, what I'm able to again utilize in my current position. So that's where my education and work experience come from. But I've been working since I was 15, never stopped, even through college.
Director Liz, did you just mention you worked under or with Mr. L. Carl Peterson?
Yes, I did.
Strange. Are you also an LUTCF?
I'm sorry?
Are you also an LUTCF while working with Mr. Peterson?
No, I actually became a paraplanner. You know how he's a certified financial planner? So I became a paraplanner under him. Yes. And yes, and I was licensed for insurance, etc.
No, our families work together. That's why I figured I asked.
I know who your family is. Yes.
Yeah. So I was like, I didn't know that. So that's my favorite part of your historical accomplishments. Not to be biased.
Commissioners.
I know that guy also.
Yeah, I think we all do.
Welcome to Guam.
Right.
Yeah.
Does that get a thumbs up?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments from the commissioners? None. Okay, hearing and seeing none, may I get a motion on the floor then?
Mr. Chairman, I move, I motion to move resolution number FY 2022-012, resolution to approve the appointment of Miss Elizabeth F. Napoli as the executive director for the Guam Housing Urban Authority.
Thank you, Commissioner Nate. May I get a second on the motion?
I'll second that. And then some.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Corpus, for your second. Any other further discussion on the issue?
Yeah.
Right? Hearing and seeing none, may I call for the vote. All in favor, please say aye and or indicate your vote. Positive. I see. Okay, any opposed? Hearing and seeing none, it is my great pleasure to announce the approval of resolution number FY 2022-012, the resolution to approve the appointment of Mrs. Elizabeth F. Napoli as our executive director of GHURA. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
I am truly humbled and honored. And I really commit to making sure that GHURA just continues to improve and progress in all the programs that we have. Thank you very much, commissioners. And thank you to my GHURA staff.
Yeah, and thank you to Governor Leon-Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Tenorio, right, for their nomination. And as the resolution says, you are empowered by the board and serve at the pleasure of the board. But I think you said something really important, that you're legitimized by the people you serve as a public servant. Please continue, right, to keep our people first and foremost in your mind as you're doing this. I think the fun has just started. The next 5 years of GHURA is going to be a pretty critical time, right? So thank you for all that you do for the people of GHURA. You know, in the time that I've been here, I will say that I don't think heart and commitment is an issue for the GHURA staff. I think they care a lot to the point, and sometimes also to the extent that we also need to remind them to take care of themselves. So please keep them in your mind as we also continue to support you and the efforts of our staff. Right? So thank you very much. Okay.
So before we go on, so I would imagine that this resolution will be part of the packet that will go down to the legislature, or has your packet already gone down to the legislature?
She doesn't need legislative confirmation.
She does not?
No, she's only,
Oh, okay.
the board controls the process.
Right. Thank you very much for that clarification. Yeah, so I guess once we attach the minutes and sign the resolution, it becomes official, right?
Yay.
Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to item number 5, intent to award RFP GHURA-COCC-022-001 for legal counsel services director.
I will defer to Ms. Greta Baumio regarding this intent of award.
Thank you, Director. Good afternoon, Commissioners, Mr. Chair. I do apologize for not having this completed in time for this afternoon's board meeting. However, I'd like to respectfully request if we could table this item to the next board meeting this month, as it is also time sensitive. I'm going to need to revisit with the selection committee to finalize an item on the RFP for this award.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much, Greta. That's why we were just looking for the papers. Okay, thank you very much. So we will table this item for now.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 5, correspondences and reports. And so, Lena, I believe you have a Ross program and status report presentation to wow us. In the words of our famous Commissioner Ishizaki, please impress us. He likes to be impressed.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Commissioners, and Director Liz for allowing me to present today on the ROS program. Let me just share my screen. Okay, I hope you can all see. But so again, buenas and half a day. My name is Alina Butler, and I am the service coordinator for the Resident Opportunity and Self-Sufficiency Program, also known as the ROS program. I started at GHURA just last year in November. So I've had some time to adjust, get to know the flow of the program and the agency. And so I'm very excited to share today a little bit about what we've been up to at the ROS program since I've been on board. And this will be from November, from when I started up until May of this year. Okay, so just a little bit about the ROS program. The purpose of the ROS Service Coordinator Program is to provide funding to hire and maintain service coordinators who will assess the needs of residents of conventional public housing or Indian housing and coordinate available resources in the community to meet those needs. So our program serves either public housing residents that are elderly, age 62 or older, and persons with disabilities that reside in GHURA public housing. So the program objective is to help this resident population continue to live and age in place independently without having to move to more expensive assisted care environments. We accomplish this through case management, connecting residents to needed services, and providing outreaches to encourage engagement and decrease social isolation. So with the ROS program, we track all of our service delivery through a web-based software called Ask Online, which is specifically designed for service coordinators. So I generated just a brief report from November 2021 to May 2022 to give you just a glimpse into some of the most common services provided since I've been on board. And I've separated them by AMPs. And so the most common overall service was outreach, which I will share in the next slide a little bit more about what we do for outreach. And then the next is isolation intervention, which can include identifying or encouraging community or social activities, intergenerational activities, resident to resident networking or relationship building, and socialization overall. The next is home management, which can include donations that we receive to the program that we then distribute to the residents or program participants, assisting with bills, utilities, most recently assisting with applying for the emergency rental assistance and the program in Salapi. And then lastly, one of the other most common is healthcare and services. So that includes assessments for fall prevention, talking about medication management, assistive technology or durable adaptive equipment, providing information on COVID-19 testing and vaccine information, and nutrition and overall wellness education. So with the graph here, currently, and this is from May, we have 67 active ROS participants in AMP 4, 57 in AMP 3, 25 in AMP 2, and 20 in AMP 1. And so while I've been here, a lot of service delivery has been to AMP 3 and 4. I'm really hoping in the next few months that we'll be able to conduct more outreach to AMPs 1 and 2, whether it's signing up new residents for the program or re-enrolling ones that may have participated in the past, but haven't in a few years and may want to participate again. Okay, so here are some pictures from some of our outreaches that we've done in the past months. So Up at the top here, we've been working with Guam System for Assistive Technology and CEDARS. And they were able to provide presentations about assistive technology and even give out free assistive tech to some of our residents. And also we've been working with them for when residents may need a assistive device such as a cane or walker or wheelchair for a short loan kind of service. So we've been able to work with them on that. In the middle here, this is from one of our outreaches with the GWEP program at UOG. We coordinate a lot with UOG, and they're a great partner with the ROS program. So GWEP is the Geriatric Workforce Enhancement Program, and it's led by Dr. Margaret Hattori Uchima, who is the Dean of the School of Health. And so she and several employees of the GWEP program and senior nursing students have been coming on a monthly basis for the past few months to each of our elderly sites to have a presentation. The first one was on fall prevention, and they did assessments on fall prevention and also activities on how to stay healthy. And then the second one was on medication management. And then to the very right, this was from our SNAP-Ed presentation. And so they're also from UOG, from the Cooperative Extension and Outreach. And during the SNAP-Ed, they have 4 lessons discussing nutrition and healthy aging. And if the resident attends all 4 sessions, they can graduate, receive a certificate, and receive a goodie bag of recipes and things to help them cook and learn more about nutrition throughout the day. So as I said before, I started in November, and so I really began focusing on holiday activities last year. I only had about a month and a half to coordinate a lot of them, but I'm very proud of what we were able to do. And so one of the events we had is we worked with Southern High's National Honor Society, and they were able to provide a dinner for the residents that stay at Maritzo Elderly. Initially, we wanted to do a sort of like a potluck dinner and have music and games, but at this time, I believe with COVID, the cases were rising again. And so ultimately, we decided that it'd be better if we just had prepackaged meals. But the students were still very excited and wanted to deliver the meals themselves, while also adhering to social distancing and safety guidelines. And they did say they were very interested in this year if we host something similar again. And then another sort of activity is that we were inspired by the FSS program and their Toys for Tots. So we decided to do a Ross Necessities donation drive. And so this was just within the agency, and staff were sort of given a list of what items are most requested by a lot of the program participants of the Ross program. And so some items that were donated included hand sanitizer, shampoo, towels, soap, face masks, rubbing alcohol, reusable bags, non-perishable snacks, and toothpaste. And so that was a very successful necessities drive. So for the biggest sort of event for the holiday season is the Intergenerational Gifts of the Hand event. And this is actually the 3rd year that we had this. I believe it was implemented by the previous service coordinator, Francesca, and Director Liz. And so the intent of Intergenerational Gifts of the Hand is that Ross coordinates with GDOE schools, and the schools are able to provide homemade cards or art projects, gifts for the participants in the Ross program or the residents. And so the intent's to increase the self-esteem and life satisfaction while decreasing feelings of loneliness and isolation among the elderly. And in addition, it's the hope that the youth who are making these gifts also benefit as they gain a sense of responsibility and empathy, especially towards our most vulnerable populations. So the outcome of last year's intergenerational gifts of the hand was that 178 elderly public housing residents or residents with disabilities received homemade cards, ornaments, as well as gifts from the different school communities. And so we don't ask for donated items. We'll ask for, the cards or the homemade items, but a lot of the schools, they get very excited, which I found out, and they really went above and beyond to provide gifts for our elderly. And so here in the picture, in the past, we've had the students deliver themselves, but because of COVID, we didn't necessarily advertise that to be safe. But one of the schools, which was Marshall Sablon, was still very interested. And so they were able to have a few students come by and deliver their gifts personally, which the residents really loved. And so just here's some pictures, some of the gifts. And this was down in Agate for our Agate residents. And here again are some of the students who were able to deliver their gifts personally. And again, so one thing we did this year is we collaborated with Minyat Lu because we had over 150 gifts and it was just me and the Ross program. So they were able to assist us with delivering of the gifts, and they just did a great job, and they're interested in helping again this year. And because they work with a lot of the at the public housing sites anyway, they were already familiar with the areas to go to, and actually some of the residents they were delivering to. So that was a really great opportunity. And then just some more examples of some of the cards that were created by the students. And then lastly, like I said before, we ask for homemade items, but if they want to give more, then a list of much needed items was provided. And so these are gifts from Maritza Martyrs Memorial School and MU Lujan, and they really sort of went above and beyond and gave sort of these huge, amazing gifts, which, when we delivered, there was a lot of happy tears. And I had several residents call me saying that they're really grateful, and, that they hope I can tell the students that how grateful they are to have been thought of during the holiday season. Okay, so something new that I've recently implemented for the Ross program is that I've started a monthly newsletter, and this is for the Ross participants. And so why I wanted to start a newsletter was just to make sure that all the participants are sort of updated in the know about what's going on, especially if we have upcoming outreaches or events. I usually put that in the newsletter. If there's any sort of events they're able to attend, that might pertain to them, to the senior citizens or the elderly, I'll also include that. And just right here is an example. We had several items donated. And so this was just a sort of advertisement asking if they needed any of these and to contact me, of which several did. So I found that having this newsletter is a great option to keep all the residents updated. And then I always include my information so they're able to contact me if they want to know more, anything like that. So for administrative tasks, as far as training, I had the opportunity of attending several trainings since I've been here. First of which was the National Association of Social Workers Guam Chapter Regional Conference, which the theme was coping through crisis. And so I was able to attend trainings, learn about ethical decision-making, cultural humility, and the importance of culture with service delivery. I've also been able to attend trainings from the American Association of Service Coordinators about social isolation, mindful communication, and self-determination for our residents. and also the Guam System for Assistive Technology Fair, which I was able to coordinate with the FSS program here and Irvin from Gumatrinkiladot. And we've also been able to establish and sustain new partnerships for the Ross program, including, as I mentioned before, EOG's GWEP program, the SNAP program, SNAP-Ed program, Anchor of Hope, GSAT in Cedars, and also Minyetlu, or Micronesian Resource Center. And I hope this video can play, but I wanted to show a video. This was at a GWEP outreach. This was the fall prevention one. And so GWEP provided a sort of goodie bag, and it had these pool noodles. And so we were doing exercises, and I just wanted to sort of show a little video about some of the great things we've been doing at our outreaches. And I'm not sure if I don't think there's audio, but the residents had a really great time and did not want to leave after actually the outreach had ended. So we took that as a good sign that we're going to continue doing these outreaches. So just some upcoming events and news. So fortunately for the Ross program, we were able to have 2 senior Bachelor of Social Work interns join us during this next year. And so one, her name is Sydney. She has already begun. She began in June, and she will finish in July and then come back for the spring semester. And then we have another intern who will begin in August, and she will stay with us all the way to May. And so some of their tasks will assisting with the outreaches, event planning coordination, working with the partner agencies, introduction to case management, and gaining some experience with reporting and grant evaluation, and gaining more experience working with vulnerable populations. So I will serve as the supervisor, and then Francesca will serve as the field instructor. Some more upcoming events is, again, our continued partnership with GWEP. We actually have another outreach tomorrow in Talafofo, so they're starting their July lessons tomorrow. And then a hopeful collaboration with the social work program at UOG to host some more recreational events, including bingo, exercise, yoga, gardening. These are some of the things the residents have told me they're very interested in and would like to, maybe have an event with. Something that may be in the works also is a partnership with the nursing program at UOG, to where some of the senior nursing students will be able to sort of adopt one of the elderly sites and be supervised by their faculty, but be able to provide weekly or bi-weekly health visits and monitoring services for some of the elderly that stay at our sites who may be interested. And then additionally, another event coming up is a medical outreach with Total Guam. And this tentatively will be August 28th. And at this outreach, they will provide back to school vaccines and shots. And we are also hoping to collaborate with Minyetlu for this one. So just some of our short-term goals is that we hope to consistently conduct 1 to 2 outreach presentations, workshops at each elderly site on a monthly basis. We also hope to conduct more outreach to potential or current program participants that are not staying at the elderly sites. We also hope to continue to establish and strengthen partnerships with our partnership agencies. We submit our annual report in October, and we are currently at the tail end of conducting our needs assessment for our grant renewal. And we've been going to all the AMPs to conduct this needs assessment. And we've identified some areas of need, which is education, financial literacy, health and wellness, employment, and services for the elderly or persons with disabilities. And then lastly, some long-term goals. So a core sort of feature in the Ross grant is to advance digital inclusion and increase digital literacy among residents. And actually, during our needs assessment that we've been doing, this is one of the areas that we've really seen, a significant amount of residents wanting to increase their digital literacy, wanting to learn how to use a computer or have access to a computer or even have access to internet services. So something that we're hoping to try to establish is to provide digital literacy training programs and to also potentially establish a small device or hotspot computer lending program. Additionally, another area of need is to increase access to health and wellness services and provide on-site healthy aging activities. So this is to ensure residents are receiving their medical exams annually or more frequently depending on the case, and to decrease the amount of emergency room visits for residents. And also here, just some significant and or frequent barriers that I've come across while talking to many of the residents is access to transportation, employment, getting a GED or education, and then financial capability. And that is it for me. Thank you very much for allowing me to share today. And yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Alina. Commissioners, do you have any questions?
Impressive. I'm impressed.
Oh, you got,
Thank you.
you got a thumbs up from Commissioner Suzaki.
So I have something, Mr. Chair. Alina, in your presentation, you were talking about employment and stuff like that, and I'm sure you're aware of the GHURA grant that for child caregivers. And so I think part of that process, I think they can get up to $675 a month, and I'm not sure if receiving that money will impact their stay in our facilities, but I don't know. Will that impact if they receive this child care money?
To my knowledge, so for many of the ones who I have talked to or done assessments where they've been interested in employment is where they are extremely low income to where they don't have any income or barely any at all. So if they were to get a job, it would, depending on, I believe, the amount of hours and then the amount of money that's coming in. But what's happened in the past is just we've been able to work out, and with the AMPs, be able to work out where they are able to keep their housing and still work because they want to work.
Okay. Great, because the reason I'm asking is, I'm involved with a nonprofit called GUMA, and we provide free training, and we're focusing right now. We got a grant. We're focusing right now on home-based businesses, and and we're going to make a push for this child care development so that we can get people that and we'll walk them through the process of getting a business license so that in the event their children have kids that they can watch, then this will be an additional income for them. And my understanding is that the whole Programan Pinilan is only a one-year grant. So if that's something that maybe we can have our staff discuss with you, Alina, and provide that opportunity. We go into the villages. I think our next village is Chalampago at the end of the month, and I think we got like 8 more villages to visit. But I'll have Dar contact you directly and see how we can partner. It's all free training, yeah.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. And thank you, Alina, for your presentation, right? And I think this is a great segue. There's a lot of great programs, as Vice Chair said, right? There's a lot of great programs out there, especially during this time of recovery, right? And a lot of great opportunities for our housing residents, right? And those who seek our services, right? And I think the problem is that, you know, we don't know what we don't know. So the more information that we have on how we can partner with these institutions and these services, the better we can actually increase the lifestyle and livelihood of our clients. But I think that's a great segue into the general discussion and announcements, because I know that a lot of things have been happening lately, right, with GHURA. And Director Liz, may I call you just to kind of give us some of those updates? And I think this is a great place to put it, right? Because I think it dovetails to what Alina was talking about and some of the opportunities that Commissioner Guzman was also talking about. Thank you, Alina. Appreciate it.
Yes, thank you very much, Chairman. Yes, there are a bunch of things that have been happening here at GHURA, and so I'll try to go over them very briefly. One of the exciting things happening this year, I think it's been a while since we've had this program, is the 2022 Governor's Summer Youth Employment Program. It's a 6 weeks program. It started on June 20th and it goes on till July 29th. GHURA has 10 summer interns, ages 14 to 17 from the public schools. They've been placed at our main office and also at our AMPS 1, 2, 3, and 4 sites. The program really provides real world entry-level work experiences, positive mentorship, skills and time management, communication, critical thinking, building resume for future jobs, and college applications. And I'd like to thank Audrey again for helping to coordinate this, with our staff so that we could welcome these summer youth employees. And they actually have been able to assist temporarily in areas that are different divisions needed, for whatever reason. GHURA also, in collaboration with GCC, Manietlu, Todo Guam, have partnered for the GCC Educational Boot Camp. So it's a pilot program introduction and registration was held on Wednesday, June 22nd. And our pilot program started with AMP4, the Toto Gardens. And the target enrollment is a minimum of 20 public housing residents. Brochures of the service and curriculum offered for the boot camp were provided by the partnering organizations, GCC, Manietlu, and Todo Guam. And GCC is providing the laptops and Wi-Fi connection for the participants. And GHURA is responsible for the venue, lighting, logistics, and informing the residents. But it was a very successful orientation that was held on June 22nd. There were a lot of residents that came to listen to see how they could benefit from this educational boot camp. So we're really happy to have been afforded the opportunity to provide the site and also provide the opportunity for these public housing residents that may need a GED or some trade skill, etc. Then another upcoming partnership that we're going to have is with Dr. Margaret Hattori Uchima from the UOG School of Health. She reached out to GHURA regarding a collaboration for the fall semester public community health nursing course that she teaches for students that are seniors. She provided a standard MOU template between UOG and GHURA. She's had this same MOU template with other participating agencies, such as Public Health, GDOE, GRMC, and GMH, and other agencies. And what they're proposing is that the students, these senior students, visit our public housing elderly clients and those with disabilities in their homes to do assessments, make referrals to needed services, and do teaching. The faculty would supervise the students. The students would be paired with clients and visit them weekly for the semester, with further planning to be discussed. It was presented to the public, to the property site managers, as it is for the elderly at our public housing sites, and they had no objections to it. So our ROS coordinator will also be collaborating where needed. The MOU was reviewed by legal counsel with no concerns expressed. So this is for the fall semester. So we're looking forward to having that happen to benefit our elderly and non-elderly disabled clients at those sites. Another update is that our CPD and RP&E staff attended grants management training that was provided by the State Clearinghouse at Adelup, with additional trainings forthcoming in the next several weeks. And they will be offered to the additional CPD RP&E staff. And those that have already attended a couple of sessions really came back with very favorable feedback on it was like something that was really needed and will help them improve on their grants management, reporting, monitoring, etc. Also, I've been meeting weekly with our CPD and our A&E key staff to stay on top of the workout plan on projects so that we can try to really improve on our CDBG timeliness expenditures, right? We do have timeliness monitoring happening on August 2nd. And we will report to you on the outcome. I think I sent you information to help you understand what transpired and what we're continuing to do to really improve on the reporting that HUD is requiring. All divisions have also been notified of the FY 2023 budget submission deadlines to the fiscal department in preparation for board approval of the budgets they submit in our August board meeting. They've also, all divisions have been notified to submit a dashboard or Gantt chart, whatever it is that works best for them, of their required reporting timelines. And actually, I have a managers meeting next Tuesday with them, and they are supposed to provide the dashboards to me so that we can make sure that we're doing a better job of keeping track of reporting deadlines. HUD officials are planning a Guam visit to attend the August 10th ribbon cutting of the Section 108 I-Learn Charter School. They plan to also have some technical assistance trainings, and as the details become finalized, we will announce them. I think they would like to also have a visit with our board. Okay, so we will advise you as we finalize what they plan to do while they're here. And then GHURA will be celebrating its 60th anniversary in December. So we will be having ongoing discussions and planning regarding that 60th anniversary celebration, how we decide to celebrate it. Okay. And lastly, I was asked to join, hold on, by Adelup, the Civil Military Coordination Council. So this is a council that's comprised of personnel from all branches of the military, as well as directors from all the agencies, where they discuss how the military relocation, construction projects, etc., how we can work in partnership with them to make sure that it's not just the projects on base, but also projects off base, that we can try to strike a balance with them on making sure that things happen both on base and off base for the benefit of the entire island. And so they included affordable housing on topics of discussion that they want to have So I am going to be meeting with them regularly so that they can have, we can have discussions on how we're going to tackle the impact that the military personnel will have on the housing crisis that we're already experiencing, and how we can try to balance, that impact. So that's the latest I have, with more to come. I think you may have seen that our GURA put out an ad in the paper regarding the CPD funds for program year 2022 and the annual action plan for the fiscal year 2023. And what I can do is make sure that we send you a digitalized copy of it, and maybe a briefing on what those proposed projects are, and any discussions you wish to have on them. We can have on them possibly at the next board meeting. But that's all I have, but a lot of exciting things happening.
Thank you so much. Right. Yeah, I definitely a lot of things that are happening at GURA, right? And I also probably want to thank Kathy, Kim, and Francis, right, for providing the support, because I'm sure we've been making them work quite a bit lately, right? So thank you, all of you, for your help. The other item on the agenda is the next proposed board meeting of Monday, July 25th at 12 p.m. So please mark your calendars in advance. We do need another meeting for the end of the month. There's still quite a few time-sensitive things that we need to get out, right? So please mark your calendars on that one. Any other discussions and/or general announcements from the board?
I do, Chair, may I?
Yes.
So if everyone can take a look at the item under the next scheduled or the proposed scheduled board meeting. It says commissioners will attend the next scheduled GURA BOC meeting via either video conference or in person. And if I can just share with the with everyone, GURA, to continue being compliant with the open government law based on 5 GCA 43121, board and commission members may participate in regular and special meetings via video teleconferencing. The board or commission member shall submit a written request to participate via video teleconferencing to the chairperson, who must then acknowledge and approve the teleconference. So basically for this, because it actually says commissioners need to email and get an approval from the chairman to attend via teleconference. So this way, I'm asking that everyone let the chairman know how they'll be attending the next scheduled board meeting, whether video conference or in person, so the chair can acknowledge if that's possible.
I think we can just streamline that, because I know that you do send out a notice, right, ahead of time asking how people will participate. So you could probably just accumulate that and then put it in a simple checklist prior to the meeting. Then we can deal with that and maybe make it easy to streamline. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
I have one thing, Mr. Chairman.
Sure.
I know that you're saying here our next proposed scheduled board meeting is Monday, July 25th. Is there a reason why we're moving it to Mondays? And the other point I'd like to make is Monday morning, we're coming back after a 4-day weekend. And, because they, and that's normally a difficult day.
You're right. All right. That is a 4-day weekend. I think a couple of things. One, we just needed the earliest available date, because there were some time sensitive things that needed to happen before the end of the month. Right. That was my understanding was that also. And I think some of the discussions were that Fridays are becoming a little bit hectic for some of the commissioners. I know it's hectic on my end, but that's kind of a, you know, we can talk about that definitely for the standard board meeting. And maybe we can, Audrey, we can send out something just to get everybody's, get a pulse, right, on everybody to see whether, you know, what days are better for them. But you're absolutely right on the December, I mean, on the 25th. So maybe we can make a consideration for the 4-day weekend, right? Because we want to make sure that we're sound in making some decisions on that after the 4-day. But yeah, I think it's just a matter for this particular one. There was some items, especially if I remember correctly, the item with Greta that needed to have action before the end of the month, and I think it's pushing it if we go Friday. So if you can send,
I'm okay with Tuesday.
and
If we move it to Tuesday, I don't know about everyone. I'm just thinking what is it? The holiday, they're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. Unless we do it on Wednesday, the 20th,
No.
the day before the holiday.
Wednesday.
I don't know.
I'm fine.
I'm a private sector, so we have no holidays.
All right, why don't you send it out and we'll get it, we'll see where everybody falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll reach a consensus that way. But I think the point is we just need to have one shortly before the, you know, not pushing the end of the month, but a little bit before that to give the team some-
Understood.
Right. Okay. Anything else?
Well, just to follow up on that, Mr. Chair,
Absolutely.
because you mentioned Friday's not good for you, so maybe we have to do that survey too as well.
Please, if we can, Fridays is getting pretty hectic for me. So if we can do a survey to Audrey, that would help. Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. Anything else? Okay, hearing none, I think we've done quite a bit today, right? Thank you very much, everybody, for coming. I know that you know, there's an uptick all over the place, so please be safe and be healthy, right? We need you all on board. If I'm hearing nothing else, right, I'll call this meeting at 1:40 p.m. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Happy Liberation, everybody.
Liberation.
Have a good weekend.
Have a good weekend. Thank you as well.
Oh, I forgot to wish happy belated birthday to Miss Anisha.
Oh, is that what's behind her? Happy belated birthday, Anisha.
We're still live.
Happy birthday.
We're still live.
Happy belated birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy
I was
birthday.
trying to blur my background, but I didn't know how. Thank you guys. Have a great weekend.
Take care.
Bye.
So we can get out now.